Okay, so I'm not having luck here with Facebook today. So I'm going to go to YouTube and get started over there. So Sutapa, just bear with me for a minute here till I get going. Okay, YouTube over there. All right. So Sutapa. So, just bear with me for a minute here. Okay. This doesn't help, does it? Okay. Do we have the words repeated back to you? Does it?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Are you going to get everything ready for us, Yash Prabhu? All right. Let me know.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Danvat Pranams. Okay, so whenever you're ready with the reading list and with the prayers, Yash Prabhu, we will get started here. And let's see how it is going. All right.
Ishwari Radhika Mataji, Sutapa Mataji, Niral Prabhu, Khyati Mataji, Suyash, Manasi, Varsha Mataji, Priti Radhika Mataji, and Shraddha Mataji.
All right.
And I will share the list. Prayer.
All right, good. Thank you very much for doing that.
Okay.
Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Reading from the Vidyapti Panchaka 1 and 2. Matsamo nasti papatma naparadhi chakaschana parihare pilajjame kim bhruve purushottama yuvatinam yatha yuni yunam cha yuvatav yatha manobhi ramate tatvan mano me ramatam tvai. Verse 3. Bhumau skhalita padanam bhumirevaavalambanam tvai jata paradhanam tvameva sharanam prabhu. Govinda vallabhe radhe prarthaye tvam aham sada twadiyam iti janatu govindo mama tvaya saha. 5. Radhe vrindavanadhishe Karunamritavahini Kripaya Nidpadabja Dasyam Mahyam Pradiyatam. And I will go over to our translations and we'll read it in the order. You read?
O Purushottama, no sinner or offender is as bad as I am. How can I describe my shame? Just as the minds of young ladies take pleasure in a young man, and the minds of young men take pleasure in a young woman, kindly let my mind take pleasure in you alone.
Just as the ground is the only support for those whose feet have slipped, you alone are the only shelter for those who have offended you.
O Srimati Radharani, beloved of Lord Govinda, this is my request. May you and Lord Govinda consider me one of your assistants.
O Srimati Radharani, O Queen of Vrindavana, you are the river flowing with the nectar of mercy. Please be kind to me and give me a little service at your lotus feet.
Okay, so then we will stop sharing this and see how much can we remember while I am welcoming Neha Mataji, Vidyavadhu Mataji, and Dilip Bhai Prabhu, who was watching us on Facebook/YouTube. I didn't have luck today, so I'm broadcasting to YouTube. Okay. So, how do you feel?
Good, Mataji.
You feel good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so tell us something good from the prayers.
Mano me ramati tvayam tadvam.
So somebody corrected, huh? So this means words are getting into your psyche. Okay, very good. Yeah, what else?
Parihare mi lajja mein kim bhruve purushottama.
All
I
right.
just find it so sweet, like kim bhruve purushottama. Just so beautiful to ears.
Yeah, yeah. Such a sweet relationship, right? It says
Yeah.
kahan now. Yeah. It actually always reminds me of Krishna and Rukmani's pastime, where Krishna, so like comparing his different wives, and of course Radharani, who is his energy, we see a very different type of relationships there. For example, Radharani is very sweet, but then she can give it back to Krishna once in a while, like that. And then Satyabhama is the fiery one, like I want the parijat flower, I want it now, kind of thing. And then we have Rukmani, who's very, very sweet, right? She's very the epitome of sweetness, like that. And so one day Krishna wants to see her in a angry mood. And so he starts teasing her and saying that, look at the guy you have married. You're the daughter of a princess, and you could have married somebody, of your caliber. You could have got married to that Sijupali, like that. And then Rukmani is just so overwhelmed by that she just faints. And I always think, like, what a nice relationship she has got with Krishna, that Krishna is saying these things, and instead of retaliating back, she's just fainting over there like that. And so, yeah, Kim Bhumare Purushottama, complete, love, and, there's so much emotions there in that line that you picked up today. Yeah. What's more?
Give me a little service at your lotus feet, at your.
Okay. Yeah, make me a part of your inner team. Yeah. And then give me a padabja. Yeah. Padabja. Yeah.
And just make me your assistant.
Make me your assistant. Yeah.
Govinda Vallabhe Radhe.
Govinda Vallabhe Radhe. What does that mean?
The beloved of Govinda.
Govinda, right? Yeah. So that's what our aim should also be, to do such good seva that we become beloved of Vallabhe Radhe. Yeah.
Karunamrit Vahini.
Karunamrita Vahini.
Ocean of river of mercy.
Karuna.
Yes. Very good. So are you ready for the chapter today? To read one chapter?
Yes.
All right, coming up. And who's next in the reading order? And did anyone new join?
Yes, Mataji. Suruchi Mataji joined.
Okay. And so Suruchi, are you in a position to read today?
No, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Danvat.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams. Okay, that's fine. So let's go ahead with the verse.
Observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Sanjaya said, O king, after looking over the army arranged in military formations by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words.
O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupad. Here in this army are many heroic bowmen, equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna, great fighters like Yuyudhana, Virata, and Drupada.
Who's next?
Varshana Mataji.
Okay. There are also great heroic, powerful fighters like Drishtaketu, Chekitana, Kashi Raj, Purijit, Kunti Bhoj, and Shebya. Text 6.
Very nice.
There are also there are the mighty Yuddhamanyu, the very powerful Uttamoja, the son of Subhadra, and the sons of Draupadi. All these warriors are great chariot fighters. Hare Krishna.
But for your information, O best of the Brahmanas, let me tell you about the captains who are specially qualified to lead my military force. They are personalities like you, Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama, Vikarna, and the son of Somadatta, called Bhurishrava, who are always victorious in battle.
There are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. All of them are well equipped with different kinds of weapons, and all are experienced in military science. Our strength is immeasurable, and we are perfectly protected by Grandfather Bhishma, whereas the strength of the Pandavas, carefully protected by Bhim, is limited.
All of you must now give full support to Grandfather Bhishma as you stand at your respective strategic points of entrance into the phalanx of the army. Then Bhishma, the great valiant grandsire of the Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, making a sound like the roar of a lion, giving Duryodhana joy.
After that, the conch shells, drums, bugles, trumpets, and horns were all suddenly sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous. On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna, stationed on a great chariot, drawn by white horses, sounded their transcendental conch shells.
Lord Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya. Arjuna blew his, the Devadatta, and Bhima, the voracious eater and performer of Herculean tasks, blew his terrific conch shell called Paunra. King Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell, the Ananta Vijaya, and Nakul and Sahadev blew the Sughosha and Manipushpaka. That great archer, the king of Kasi, the great fighter Shikhandi, Drishtadhyumna, Virata, the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupada, the sons of Draupadi, and others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra, all blew their respective conch shell.
The blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. At that time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated on the chariot bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrow. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra drawn in military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words.
Arjuna said, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those who present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms. Let me see those who have come here to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra.
Sanjay said, O descendant of Bharata, having thus been addressed by Arjuna, Lord Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of the armies of both parties. In the presence of Bhishma, Drona, and all other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, just behold Partha, or the Kurus assembled here.
There Arjuna could see within the midst of armies of both parties his fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his fathers-in-law and well-wishers. When the son of Kunti, Arjuna, saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, He became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus. Hare Krishna.
Arjuna said, "My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. My whole body is trembling, my hair is standing on end, my bow Gandiva is slipping from my hand, and my skin is burning."
I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune, O Krishna, killer of the Keshi demon. I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsmen in this battle, nor can I, my dear Krishna, desire any subsequent victory, kingdom, or happiness.
O Govinda, of what avail to us are a kingdom, happiness, or even life itself, when all those for whom we may desire them are now arrayed on this battlefield? O Madhusudana, and teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, fathers-in-law, grandsons, brothers-in-law, and other relatives are ready to give up their lives and properties and are standing before me. Why should I wish to kill them, even though they might otherwise kill me? O maintainer of all living entities, I am not prepared to fight with them, even in exchange for the three worlds, let alone this earth. What pleasure will we derive from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? Sin will overcome us if we slay such aggressors. Therefore, it is not proper for us to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra and our friends. What should we gain, O Krishna, husband of the goddess of fortune? And how could we be happy by killing our own kinsmen?
O Janardana, although these men, their hearts overtaken by greed, see no fault in killing one's family or quarreling with friends, why should we, who can see the crime in destroying a family, engage in these acts of sin? With the destruction of the dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanquished, and thus the rest of the family becomes involved in irreligion.
When irreligion is prominent in the family, O Krishna, the women of the family become polluted, and from the degradation of womanhood, O descendant of Vrishni, comes unwanted progeny. An increase of unwanted population certainly causes hellish life, both for the family and for those who destroy the family tradition. The ancestors of such corrupt families fall down because the performances for offering them food and water are entirely stopped.
By the evil deeds of those who destroy family tradition and thus give rise to unwanted children, all kind of community projects and family welfare activities are devastated. O Krishna, maintainer of the people, I have heard by disciplinic succession that those whose family tradition are destroyed dwell always in hell.
Alas, how strange it is that we are preparing to commit greatly sinful acts driven by the desire to enjoy royal happiness. We are intent on killing our own kinsmen. Better for me if the sons of Dhritarashtra, weapons in hand, were to kill me unarmed and unresisting on the
I missed it. Okay. Sanjaya said, Arjuna, having thus spoken on the battlefield, cast aside his bow and arrows and sat down on the chariot, his mind overwhelmed with grief.
Haribo.
Evil.
So we finished reading, and I see 5 chat messages there, and they are to do with the reading order, right? So are we ready to go to verse number 31 today?
This monkey.
Yes.
Okay. So let me start sharing it then here with all of you. Verse number 31. Okay, let me just stop there. When you share here. Okay, can you see it?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mother.
Okay, go ahead.
Read.
Yes?
May I take, Mother?
No,
Yeah.
it's Yash's turn.
Okay.
Mataji, can you show the Devanagari script as well? That way it's
Okay, here you go. Yeah,
easy.
please.
Nachaskeyo nupashyami hatva swajanam have
Mahave.
Mahave. Na kankshake vijayam Krishna na cha rajyam sukhani cha.
Rajyam Sukhani cha. Right? You might want to just look at the English here to
Yeah.
see how this was pronounced, right?
Nakangshe, yeah.
Nakankshe Vijayam.
Kankshija.
Good, good, good. Yeah.
Varshana Mataji.
Na nor cha also Shreya good Anupashyami do I foresee Hatva by killing Swajanam own kinsmen away in the fight na nor Kankshe do I desire Vijayam victory Krishna O Krishna na nor cha also Rajyam kingdom Sukhani happiness thereof cha also Hare Krishna.
I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsmen in this battle, nor can I, my dear Krishna, desire any subsequent victory, kingdom, or happiness.
Without knowing that one's self-interest is in Vishnu or Krishna, conditioned souls are attracted by bodily relationships, hoping to be happy in such situations. In such a blind conception of life, they forget even the causes of material happiness. Arjuna appears to have even forgotten the moral code for a Kshatriya. It is said that two kinds of men, namely the Kshatriya who dies directly in front of the battlefield under Krishna's personal orders, and the person in the rounds order of life who is absolutely devoted to spiritual culture, are eligible to enter into the sun globe, which is so powerful and dazzling. Okay, next person can read from here.
Arjuna is reluctant even to kill his enemies, let alone his relatives. He thinks that by killing his kinsmen, there would be no happiness in his life, and therefore he is not willing to fight, just as a person who does not feel hunger is not inclined to cook. He has now decided to go into the forest and live a secluded life in frustration. But a Kshatriya, he requires a kingdom for his sustenance, because the Kshatriyas cannot engage themselves in any other occupation. But Arjuna has no kingdom. Arjuna's sole opportunity for gaining a kingdom lies in fighting with his cousins and brothers and reclaiming the kingdom inherited from his father, which he does not like to do. Therefore, he considers himself fit to go to the forest to live a secluded life of frustration.
Okay, so let's go and see what's happening to Arjuna.
So,
Any
Amma, I really liked that in one of the sentences it says, in the blind conception of life or material existence, we forget the causes of material happiness. Like we get so blinded that we forget that the moral codes are these, and if we follow these moral codes, it will lead to easier life, a better life.
Yeah, good observation.
Yeah, Mataji, the Arjuna is still in dilemma because as a Kshatriya, his duty is to fight, but he doesn't want to. So that's why he is preferring to go to the forest and want to have a secluded life. So it's a both thing. He is in dilemma, and the you told like yesterday that he is Bishad Grasta. So it's still going on this verse, the both the two things.
Very good.
I felt if the person who is displaying attachment, who is exhibiting the physiological symptoms, and who have forgot their own skills, right? And they want to run away. What are they going to do? At least good thing is that Arjuna is relaying this to Krishna, who has the ability to address it, right? He just did not take any action. He spoke before he like conveyed it or to Krishna how he feels and what he thinks. So there is a chance of correction.
Yes, yes, I'm getting some good guidance, right?
Yeah.
Here, one thing that caught my attention was before everywhere Arjuna addressed Krishna as Madhusudana, infallible, and here he says, "Oh dear Krishna," just like My God, I'm now very frustrated like that.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yes. His frustration is increasing slowly. Yeah. What else? I actually, going back to what, before we go to the next reflection, going back to the comment that that Kathy Mataji had made about like he has forgotten all his skills, right? And it's glad that he has turned to Krishna. Now here, uh, and not yet, he's not yet done. He will do that, right? But here, what he's saying is that I will go back. It's better for me to go to the forest and things like that. And Prabhupada, in this purport that I'm sharing with you, is saying that therefore he considers himself fit to go to the forest. Well, that was fine. But then Prabhupada adds to live in a secluded life of frustration.
Frustration.
You see? So Prabhupada is amazing. You know how he slips in a few things here and there in his purports. Yeah. What else?
Though he's Kshatriya, his basic life, this thing is to fight. But he is not ready to fight with his cousins. So for his life, for sustenance, he needs the kingdom. But for that, he has to fight. But he is not ready to do that, and he is ready to go back to forest and spend his all life in secludedness and in frustration.
Very good.
Usually when we say, okay, I want to go to the forest, we think in the terms of, hey, I want to go where there is peace. And here, at least it's nice, as you pointed out, right? It's like adding sacred life in forest of frustration. So it means that when you go to the forest, you won't be peaceful, you'll be just frustrated. And that could be the same for any one of us if we want to run away from our duties.
Exactly. And why will he not? Why will he be frustrated if people are going to go to the forest and feel peaceful? Why is Arjuna going to be frustrated?
Because his nature is Kshatriya, right? He will take that characteristic and utilize over there.
Yeah, try to. Right? And he will constantly think that I did not take revenge from those who did bad things to my wife. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one more thing, Mataji, the first line, Arjuna, when we are attracted by the bodily relationship, or if we means the attached to the human beings, Arjuna seems like he's not happy by that. Means he's also unhappy that means what to do with them. Means there are so many people, but I'm not feeling happy to see all those. I'm not attracted by that people. Means we should be happy while we are in the midst of the our relatives and so. But Arjuna seems like unhappy in this verse.
Yeah, and the unhappiness coming from the dilemma. It's like, you know, so if you suddenly spot your grandfather from India in a mall that you go to, you'll be excited, like, Grandpa. But then if the grandpa is standing there, you're like, oh, Grandpa is going to kill me, or I have to kill him.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So the situation is different for him, and that's why he doesn't, he's feeling the way he's feeling. Yeah, very good, very good points. I just wanted to add some more things over here. And so what was he saying yesterday? He said, I'm unable to
stand here any longer.
Stand here any longer.
Right?
I'm unable to stand here any longer.
Yeah, nacha shaknomi avastatum bhramati vichame mana nimittani prapatyani viparitani keshava. Right? So he was saying, I just see all causes, right, of bad things happening to us, right? So here, again, our favorite word has come, which is that word that we are looking for in all these shlokas.
Seeing.
Right? Very good. So what does he see here? He says, I do not see any good coming out of it, right? Okay. So he is seeing, but then you see, how does Prabhupada translate that, anupashyami? What does he translate that into? Does he translate
I foresee.
Right? So you see, now he is foreseeing. There's a little bit of a difference between how he is, what he was seeing before, right? Before the singing was more of a physical seeing. I can see my matulans, my bhratrins, my pitrins, putas Sashurans, right? Suhudaseva, Senayor, Ubhyorapi, I see all of them. So that is physical seeing that he was doing. But now what he's doing is that he's trying to foresee. So there's a little bit of an interpretation that he's doing on top of that, right? And once he starts to do his interpretation, then he doesn't see, what does he not see? Nacha Shreyo Nupaschami. So he's saying, Shreya, I do not see any good coming from killing my own kingsmen. Right? So he started to use a little bit of his brains now to see, and then he goes further in the time horizon, right? So he's looking at the immediate, that killing it, and then he looks into the future to see that there will not be any subsequent. So that's a key word there. Subsequent. So he's looking at, later on also what's going to happen. I do not, desire any subsequent victory. So later on, does not want this, any kingdom, any happiness, right? Why? Because if I kill my kinsman right now, and the one is immediate, you are killing them. And then long term also, there will be, like I mentioned, that there will be feelings there in the family that, this guy killed my father-in-law, this guy killed my son, and so on and so forth, like that. So it'll have a long range effect also. So Arjuna is thinking these things, and this is good. This is good, right? So one of the terms that I wanted to bring up here is that he says, Nacha Shreyo Nupaschami, right? So Nacha Shreyo Nupaschami. So the word Shreya here. Shreya. And how does Prabhupada translate Shreya?
Good.
Shreya means good, right? So there is Shreyas, right? So Shreyas is something that relates to long-term good. So it's not short-term. And the opposite of Shreya is Preya. 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 So Shreyas and Preyash, or Shreya and Preya, like that they say, right? So what Arjuna is speaking over here is actually long-term, which is good. He's talking about Shreya. So Shreya means the ultimate good. And Preya means something which is immediately good, short-term good. So short-term good versus long-term good. So what should one be interested in, Shreya or Preya?
Shreya.
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 Right? So for example, we go and there's a child in our family. So kids like to play. I have a granddaughter. She plays the whole day and walks the whole day. I don't know how she manages that, but she does it the whole day. And then as she will grow up, the mom will ask her to go and, go to school, do the homework and things like that. But then child doesn't want to do that. So why is the mother or the father forcing the child to go to school? Is because for the long-term gain. But the child doesn't want to do that. Child wants to just stay there and say, play. I want to play. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to do homework, like that, right? So this concept of, looking for the long-term gain is something that has been emphasized a lot in our culture. And I'm going to, bring up a verse from the Bhagavatam actually here. And for those of you who are keeping track of it, I'll also post the link onto the chat window here, but I will nevertheless share the screen also with you. And this is from the first canto, first chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. And it's just the 9th verse. We've just gone 9 verses into the Srimad Bhagavatam, and the concept of Shreya comes up. And so this is situated in Naimisharanya, and there are 6 sages. This battle of Mahabharata is over. Long time ago, Parikshit Maharaj has been born, and he has been ruling the world. So it's after that there are sages of Naimisharanya who are looking at Kali Yuga, that is defending on them. Kali Yuga is defending on them, and they are saying that, and they are sages, they're good people, they're sadhus. So they want to do something for the ultimate good of mankind, ultimate good. And so they sit down to do a 1,000-year yajna. And they sit down to do the bodies. And in those days, when they did these kind of yajnas, it was not a very small thing. The yajna kund was not a very small yajna kund. It was not like the havan kund that we use like in our homes to do the havan, or even in the temples these days to do the, how big is it? Maybe 1.5 feet by 1.5 feet, like, or if you're in Govardhan, maybe a little bit bigger, like that. But these Yagya kundas are really big. For example, they are 1 mile by 1 mile or 1 mile by 2 miles in the length and breadth. That's the kind of yaggas that used to happen. And even closer over here, when we go to Jagannath Temple in Puri, right beside, and Varshana Mataji might remember that because she comes with us to the yatra, is that there's a big swing, you know, like how they have a pond. What is that called? Kund, right? So I'm just trying to struggle with what's the equivalent of kund in English, but kund you will understand, Sham Kund, Radha Kund, right? Where people would take a bath and then go and visit the temple, right? So that kind of kund, and it's a big one. It's really big. It's really big, and we were told that particular kund was used by Brahma to perform a yagya. And I was like, oh my goodness. So your yagya kund is as big as a swimming pool, as a big swimming pool. So that's the kind of dimensions that were used. And so they do this yagya, and there's a lot of soot that comes out. There's a lot of samagri that has gone, and the people who are doing this yagya, they are covered with soot, right? Black soot. So they have become black, and still they're not getting what you get from a yagya. They're not getting the end results. After the yagya, somebody should appear, Vishnu or somebody should come, right? And nothing is happening. So then they ask this question. They ask this question of Sutta Goswami. There are 6 questions that they ask, right? What is the ultimate good? What is this? What is that, right? So what are the pastimes of Krishna in creation? So 6 of them are there. But the purpose of today's class is not to go into that. I wanted to emphasize SB 119. So who's next in the reading order? Who read last?
Ishwari Mataji read.
Ishwari Radha Mataji.
All right. Who comes after Radha?
Me, Mataji.
Okay. So you want to try this one?
Tatra tatranjansha yushaman bhavate yad vinishitam pumshamaikantatha shreyash tana shamastring shamshitam arhashi.
Arhasi. Okay. Synonyms. Who's next?
Prabhu.
So yes.
Mataji and Niral Prabhu.
Neeral Prabhu's turn.
Okay.
He's not
You?
here. I can read.
You are the
Prabhu is here. Okay, he can read
Okay.
translations. I mean synonyms. Sorry.
Synonyms.
Tatra thereof. Tatra thereof. Anjasa made easy. Ayushman blessed with a long duration of life. Bhavata by your good self. Yat whatever. Vinistitam ascertained. Pumasam for the people in general. Ekantaha absolutely. Shreya ultimate good. Tat that. Na to us. Samsitum to explain. Arhasi deserve.
Very good. Translation.
Please, therefore, being blessed with many years, explain to us in an easily understandable way what you have ascertained to be the absolute and ultimate good for the people in general.
Very good. So you see the people are asked, the word Shreya comes in there and they're asking the ultimate good. So that's the kind of questions that we should also be asking. And then in the second chapter, Divinity and Divine Service, they will get the answers. And what do you guess? Do you want to guess what's the answer for that? What's the ultimate good for all of us?
Chanting Hare Krishna and giving
Shelter
charity.
of Lord Krishna.
Say that again, Varshana.
Taking shelter of Lord Krishna and chanting his holy name.
Yeah, polish up your answer a little bit more.
And performing your own duties and like doing in service of Krishna. So that way it is.
Okay. So I'm looking for the ultimate.
Love of Godhead.
Love of Krishna.
Yeah, there you go. Achieving love of Krishna and doing, which is devotional service, right? So devotional service in love of Krishna. is the ultimate good for everybody. And Krishna will walk Arjuna through all those stages, right?
Mataji, you added one more line like love of Krishna and achieving, you were telling something, achieving Krishna's.
Loving devotional service to Krishna is the ultimate good for us. If we achieve that, then that's the best. That's the best that, the best that we can go, right?
Hare Krishna, but doesn't this verse come a little later on? It says, Sarve Puncha Paro Dharma.
Yeah. Give it to us. That's the one I was talking, second chapter.
Okay.
Unity
I
and
was,
divine service.
I was like, it comes later on.
Yeah.
Sarve Puncha Paro Dharma, Yato Bhakti Radokshaje, Ahimsa Pratihata, Yayatma Suprasidati.
There you go. Right? So that's the thing says that. And I think Suyash talked about, or Neeral talked about doing your duty, right? And then here it is saying the supreme occupation, right? The supreme occupation for everybody is to go and do loving devotional service to the Lord. And it says that ahetuki apratihata is what you said, right?
Yes.
So it will be unmotivated and uninterrupted. And what will it do?
Completely satisfy this.
Completely satisfy the self, right? And now we see, is Arjuna satisfied?
No.
No, not yet,
Yes,
Mataji.
he's going that. He's going this way. He's going that. The pendulum is shifting. Should I kill them? Should I not kill them? Should I stay here? I can't stay here. Nacha shaknomi avastatum. He said that yesterday, right? So we have to keep in mind that always in our lives we should be looking at the shreyas, always be looking and like that, right? So long term, short term, long term, short term. And so, like, even when you are sick, and of course, Prabhupada says that this material body is a disease. So we can think short-term things about the body, or we can think long-term things about the body. Like, for example, if a person is getting a headache, he gets a headache every day. He goes to the doctor and doctor says, okay, you take some balm and you put it in your head. You get short-term relief. And then by the time you're back home, you go to sleep, you're feeling very good, and you get up in the middle of the night, the headache is there again. Right? So you got short-term relief from that. But if the doctor sits down and say, okay, let us examine why you're getting pain in your head. Let's do some x-rays. And then we find that there is something that is pressing, and because of that, you're getting that. And the doctor might say, okay, let me do a little operation. Right? So instead of giving, so when he goes to the operation, the money will be involved. And then, of course, the pain will be there. Then post-operative pain will be there and all that. So he's getting some little pain, but the long-term, what's going to happen? He's going to sleep nicely because no more headaches. Right? So we should always be thinking about the long-term thing. Right? And then look at, because Arjuna is looking at the short term, right? He's looking at the short term. He's also looking at the long term, in the sense that, okay, right now they did something to my wife. We're going to take care of that. But then in the longer term, it's going to spoil relationships. There'll be so much of bloodshed. So many people will be widowed. And, he'll talk a lot about that. But then he's still thinking within the confines of this life, like that, right? And that's what Prabhupada is saying. And he says that, I don't want to stand there, and the life of frustration and all that Prabhupada talks about all that. And the thing is that, if he's a Kshatriya, then a Kshatriya, and mind it, this is Dwapar Yuga. This is not Kali Yuga, where Kshatriyas are different. So in the Dwapar Yuga, a Kshatriya will either be victorious or he will die in the battlefield. A true Kshatriya will do that. Right? Die in the battlefield. So for Arjuna, and where do they go after they die in the battlefield? Where does a Kshatriya go after he dies?
He goes to heaven.
He goes to the heavenly. Yeah, he goes to the heavenly planets, right? So he goes to the heavenly planets. And so then the question is that when people are here in the Mahabharata, they are fighting. And we know that some of them are good, some of them bad, and all of them get killed except for the Pandavas. So all of them go to the heavenly planets. So then somebody might ask the question that, oh, they were the good, they went to heavenly planets. They were the bad, they went to heavenly planets. And so how come the bad go to the heavenly planets, right? And so it seems to be like there's not enough justice in that system there. Okay, right? I'm on the side of the Pandavas. I was on the side of the good people, and you send me off to heaven. And then Those person who were siding with the Kauravas, they died and they also go to heaven, right? So we have to remember over here that yes, they will go to heaven because they laid down their lives. They did the Kshatriya dharma, and that's what the rules are, right? But you also have got to remember that in the planetary systems in this universe, there are different grades of planetary systems, of heavenly planets also. There are some very high level of heavenly planets and low level of heavenly planets also. There's some grading over there also. And the consciousness also is different in the heavenly planets. In some of the heavenly planets, the consciousness will be more on enjoying it. And on the higher planets as you go, then the consciousness there will be opulence there, but you do not forget the devotional aspect of it. So you will still be continuing to do that. So those who are on the Pandava side, those on the side of goodness in a war, they go to a higher, heavenly system like that. So still we are talking about, material. He's still talking. So he's not talking about the real long term. He's not talking about that, right? He's talking about, okay, short and then longer. Okay, that's fine, right? So he is still, and the thing is that he's not yet gone into the spiritual aspect of things. He's progressing there, but he's not yet gone there, and he need the help of his friend to do that. So when people, he's confused that I should do my duty or not. So let us see that when people are doing their duty, the swadharma, which is for a kshatriyas to do and this, right? So people can go and do a lot of, they can be duty bound and go and defend their country, defend their family, do this, do that. They can do that, and so they could be doing it for their own things. So on the surface it might look like they are wonderful people, but they could be doing it because they want to get some respect out of that, right? So I did it, I sacrificed this, I got wounded in the battery. Everybody will say, oh, look at that, he's so patriotic, right? There'll be accolades, you'll get a trophy for that, right? And so you do it either for your for the self-respect that you want, right? Or you want to get into a higher position. If I fight this battle very valiantly, I'll be promoted to a major, whatever the ranking is there. That could be a reason that you're doing your duty like that. And then of course you could be doing that for your own bodily necessities and bodily enjoyment and bodily pleasures. You could be doing that, and he will say that Arjuna is thinking about that bodily pleasure, because he'll say that very soon in the bigger set of verses that are going to come. He says that, Kinno bhogena rajena, what bhoga, how can we bhog this kingdom that we are going to win? So he's thinking about bhoga like that, right? So because of that, he's thinking about good, but then still it is short term. So we have to remember that we have to rise higher, and we have to think of the spirit's swadharma, right? Not just the body's swadharma. What is the spirit's swadharma? And Priti Radhika Mataji pointed that out, right? That your dharma is to do devotional service to the Lord. So then remember, that is a real long-term thing. In comparison to that, everything becomes a prayers. Everything becomes short-term. Whatever you do in terms of your body, whether it is 1 year, 5 year plan, 20-year plan, it is still prayers as compared to the real shreyas which is there, right? So keep in mind that prayers is something which is gross, and shreyas is something that is subtle. Prayers is something that you do in the rajoguna, mode of passion, with a desire, right? And then shreyas is something that is in the sattva level, in the mode of goodness. That prayers is going to give you, like I said, short-term happiness, short-term gains, and shreyas is going to give you a long-term happiness. Like
Mataji, the Shreyas is the subtle or the...
Shreyas is subtle, long-term is subtle, right? So when we are engaged in the prayers, which is short term, related to the body, like that, we are no different than the animals, because animals also do the same kind of thing, right? So we have to do something which is pertaining to our position. And the verse that Priti Radhika pointed out, and there it says, Savai Pumsan Paro Dharmo. It says Savai Pumsan. Pumsan means human being. So they're talking about the dharma of the human being, We're not talking about dharmas of the animals. Yeah, we are a social animal and so on and so forth, but we are human beings. So we have to figure that out, that, what exactly is my ultimate goal in life. And then Arjuna is so caught up in this material thing. He wants, this, he wants that. I also want to have my family. I also want to have, but still take care of the victory, like a pendulum moving here and there, here and there. And then what does he say? That, what does he say in the next part of the verse today?
That I better leave and go to that forest. Means
Right.
okay.
So he seems to be like becoming a sannyasi now. Right? So he says, I'm going to now, it's better for me not to take this, better for me not to take that. And Vaishesha Prabhu says, then what do you have that you're saying that I'm going to renounce it? What do you have?
Nothing but
Yeah, better for me not to get the kingdom. You don't have any kingdom right now, excuse me. Duryodhan has it all, right? Like that. So this kind of a renunciation goes by the term smashan vairagya. Right? Smashan vairagya by itself means that the kind of renunciation you go when you go to a crematorium, right? You realize that you see somebody that you thought was alive and now is getting burnt and it's completely gone. And then you slowly start thinking that, oh, what is this? The material body, or there's nothing there in this world. And you get a little bit of detachment and a little bit of renunciation. But then soon that goes away. So Smashan vairagya does not stand on its own for a very long time. Right? So this is what he's just doing it. He's just saying, I'm going to leave it. But no, we have to remember that this kingdom is Krishna's kingdom. Krishna's going to say that in the 5th chapter, Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Were you talking about Hastinapur and this planet Earth? Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. I'm the Ishwar and controller of all the lokas in this planetary system. I'm the proprietor. I own everything. So don't even talk about. Right? And then, what does he say? Hatva swajana mahave. Right? Swajana. The swajana thing still comes on again and again. And so when people are there, it starts, and actually our Vigyapti Panchaka verses that you see in the morning start with this concept, and they say the attraction between male and female, right? Just as a man is attracted to a woman and a woman is attracted to a man, in similar way, let my mind be attracted to you, dear Krishna. That's the prayer we do in the morning, right? So this means that there is something very strong about attraction between a male and a female. And it is that attraction that leads to the continuance, creation and continuance of the family life. Right? And then in the family, looking at it from the male perspective, in the family, a man gets married and he gets a woman. And so what are the words that you use to call a woman in Hindi and in Sanskrit? How do you call a woman? Huh?
Stri.
Stri. Bingo. I was looking for that term. So Stri actually means one who expands things. So Sri, how does a Sri expand things? She comes into the life of a male, right? And then the expansion comes in the form of children. And then a home has to be purchased. Things have to be purchased for the home. And a person gets, just keeps on thinking that this is I and these are mine. My wife, my children, my property, and so on and so forth, right? So if a person just focuses on that, then he's not a grahastha. He's not in the grahasthashram. He's a grahmedhi. He's enjoying the material world, right? So to be a pure grahastha, that means that you are lived with your wife and your children and you have to cultivate a spiritual life. So Arjun is in the grahastha ashram. He's a devotee of Krishna. But right now, something has happened to him, right? Something has happened that he's still thinking at my family, my this, my that, right? So he's mistaken about the Shreya. He's mistaking that, he's thinking, what is his ultimate good? From the verse, Savai Pumsan Paro Dharma, his dharma is to ultimately serve Krishna. But right now he's thinking that Krishna is not very important. My family is more important. So this kind of a thing, this kind of a behavior is that of a junior devotee, junior, right? He will think of this, he'll think of that. Kanishta adhikari is, as you say. And then we go to a higher level, madhyam adhikari, where the Shraddha or the faith becomes even more and more strong as we go along there, right? So, and again, remember, Arjuna is a pure devotee. All this is that he's just acting. He's acting these things out for our benefit so that we understand what is Shreyas, what is prayers, and how we should mold our lives the way that we get, we get on the right track. And Krishna is going to put Arjuna on the right track today for sure. Not today, but in the Bhagavad-gita for sure. Yeah, like that. So I'll stop here and take any few reflections on what we said. Any questions that you have?
Hare Krishna, Ma. I was thinking that it is so amazing. We are unpacking, and we started because this is Vishad. So Arjuna is in a dilemma, and we just yesterday talked about like when you're higher, you can see better. Like a position for a manager, he can see the purpose of the project better. So our vision should be a little bit higher, not very confined. And today we are talking about Shreyas and Prayas. So it's like the more you sit and unpack, the more comes out. So it's just churning of nectar. So it's amazing. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. And that is why, Bhagavad Gita always appears to be fresh to us.
Yeah.
Because there's so much there. So amazing amount of packing which is there. And I was also telling you, I don't know in which class I was telling you, that when words are used in a shastra, I was telling about a few verses back, when Arjuna is losing his identity, Gandivam samsate hastat, right? So his Gandiv is slipping from his hands, right? And that was slipping was because of the dilemma, right? He's going over here. Should I kill he's going over there. Should I not kill them? Should I leave? Should I not leave? Right? And so I was just saying that why in the words is that word used, that description that Gandiva is slipping, and slipping basically means that he's grabbing onto it and then he lets go. That's why it slips. Sometimes it slips, he grabs on. Sometimes it slips, he grabs on, because of these extreme things that he's thinking about. And it was because now we are trying to the Bhagavad Gita is trying to tell you that he's now going to start losing his identity because he's the supreme archer, right? And what is an archer without his bow and arrow? Right? So every word over there has meaningful. And similarly, like we saw today, that every word that Prabhupada speaks in the purport is meaningful. It's not that he had a goal that my Bhagavad Gita should be 800 pages long. So let's write that. Add some words over there. Every word has got so much of meaning. And that's why you see people when they sit down, exalted personalities, they sit down with the very first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. And even they can do that to Bhagavad Gita also. They can go and discuss it for 3 months nonstop. There is so much in it. There's so much there. Because as soon as you start to apply this, right? As soon as you start to apply this in your life, then it just explodes. How is Varshana Mataji going to apply what we read today? Could be different from how Preeti Radhika is going to apply, because different situations in life, different conditions, different backgrounds, like that. And so just from one source. That's why Prabhupada said that, you don't have a need. And so sometimes we have this thing that I should have a beautiful bookshelf behind me over here, which is full of all the books which are there, right? Any book, anybody comes, anybody writes, I have to read it, I have to read it. No, Prabhupada said that, for you, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, they are enough. And believe me, it's going to take us many, many lifetimes to understand them. Just understand. Otherwise, going here and there is just going to confuse us. Like that. Yes, so good point, Preeti Radhika.
Thank you.
It's like an infinite cabbage. You keep on peeling, you keep on peeling, you keep on peeling. And and the thing is that you don't get tired from all the peeling. It's not like the Chirharan where Dushashan got tired in the end, right? And gave up. It's like, no, you don't want to give up. The more you go there, right, the more you want to go into it. It's like a,
Infinite
Cabbage.
cabbage. You know how a cabbage is there?
Okay.
Keep on peeling the peels of the cabbage.
Yes.
Yeah, usually people give the example of an onion, but I didn't want to give the example of an onion.
Better to give the cabbage.
Better one.
Cabbage, yeah. Like that, yeah. Okay, good. So should we call it a day today?
Mataji, it's not from the words, but I have a request. I don't know. Means when I'm listening that morning arti, the words that Shankara Davanale, I wanted to understand the meaning, but some of the words I don't know what does that mean.
I
So
will give you that, and I think the word by word should be available. I'll look around and I'll give you the prayer. I'll hang the prayer on the website.
okay,
Okay.
and Mataji, that MP3 Vigati Panchaka, that Nitya Sankirtan site is there's no sound.
Okay. So if you and Barshana can get together, because both of you using iPads, right?
No, Mataji,
Mataji,
mine is the phone and I can see on the laptop also.
Yeah, there is sound there because it plays on my computer. It's an MP3 file. It has to have sound. It's nothing
Oh,
but sound.
okay. Yeah, I can download it on the laptop.
Download,
So
exactly.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
if you two can get together, because you have a history of working together, because it's difficult for me to tell you because I don't have an iPad.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, here, so that
Mm-hmm.
I can't simulate the processes, but if
Yes.
you can help us, because Varshana Mataji had also reached out to me yesterday saying
Yeah.
she's
Yeah. We were trying yesterday together, but
yeah,
for both of
yeah,
us it didn't work. Okay,
yeah.
I'll
And
download
I've
and
also
send it.
asked, it's different how different browsers are set up, and then I am on Mac, which is very sound friendly thing. So when I click on it, it automatically opens up a player and then plays it for me, right? It might not be, it might be different for iPads and things like that. So I've also asked Mayank, who's helping me with Mayank Prabhu, who's helping me with the website, to import a player. And what we are using is not the best of the website tools, but that we wanted something very simple so that I could maintain it. So we have gone to the most basic thing. And so with the most basic things, you don't get the coolest of the things. So you have to, by default, so you have to go and get add-ons and things like that. So I've requested him if he can find a player that I can embed in the website itself, so that you will be able to play it from within the website, like how you go to ISKCON Desire Tree and there you play everything
Yeah.
in the browser. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Okay.
coming sometime soon, depending on Mayank's schedule, because he's helping us with many other projects. Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, simplest you can do is right click on that and download.
Yeah.
Yeah, use your
We'll
player.
do that today.
Yeah.
And Mataji, the Bhagavatam classes times means it's got changed or it is just for the time being?
The Bhagavatam class, Bhagavatam class used to start at 3:30.
Yeah.
And then by Varshana Mataji's request, who wanted to attend those classes, she said if you can make it 4 instead of 3 my time, so that
Oh,
it won't be too early in the morning for her.
yes, yes.
So we changed it during this Corona period. And because all of others are working from home, so they have a little bit more flexibility. And just last week, I had changed it to an earlier time because I had to go and read for the temple here. So we are back to the time that I have mentioned in the announcement that I sent last night, right?
Yeah, it is 4
Four.
for your
4 for
time.
us. Yeah, 4 for me, 7 for you.
Yeah.
And then it'll be 7:30, not 7:30, it'll be 4:30 in the morning for Varshana instead of 4.
Mm.
Yeah, that'll give us
Yes.
a little bit of time. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, you're welcome.
Mataji, I have the whole song, Vaishnava songbook with translation. Let me know if you need it. You can share your email.
Sutapa.
Oh, that morning Aarti Prabhu?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything.
he's asking you. Yeah, he's asking you for why don't you hang the Vaishnava songbook on our WhatsApp group so that everybody will get it.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure, I'll
Yeah.
do that.
Or
Yeah.
I am sending you I can tell you the email so that you can send it to me also. So
Yes.
I want to see it on the laptop because phone.
Okay, now tell your okay, yeah, okay, no, that's fine.
Yeah. Prabhu, it's a Shutapa,
No,
Sutapa.
you write it in chat and send it to him. Yeah, because we don't want your email to be broadcast on Facebook. We have to be very careful. We are broadcasting on Facebook, so be very careful of what you say.
Yeah.
Because on Facebook, people can download it instantly. Whatever we are speaking like that. Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
You got it?
You
Yeah.
got it?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Good. Good. Anything else? It's 7:35. Okay, good. Thank you so much for joining us. Those of you who are watching us online, because of not being on Facebook, I can't see who joined us, except for those who joined in the beginning, because they must have gone to YouTube. And then those of you who join us with a lot of enthusiasm every day in the morning here, have a wonderful, wonderful day. And we'll meet again tomorrow. Vanchikalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Gaur Premanande. All right, now to the difficult part is to switch off this conference.